Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Melissa, and on my channel I'm going to talk about plants, home decor, and a little bit of everything else. If that's something that you'll be interested in, just keep on watching. And to all those who are returning, thank you so much for coming back to view my channel. All right, you guys, on this video, I want to talk about my favorite plants that I found in the month of February. And I have 3 of them. And at the end of the video, I want to see if you can tell me what's the common denominator between all 3 of these lovely plants. And I'm going to give you some care tips that I found too on these plants. So let's get started. My first one, which might not be a surprise to you guys because I was so happy when I found it, but it's my Mandarin Fire Flash. And here it is. I was so happy to find this plant, and y'all can see why. Just look at it. Just look at it. It is so beautiful. But anyway, this Mandarin Fire Flash, if y'all see me looking down, it's because I'm reading on my notes. Let me put my glasses on. This Mandarin Fire Flash is originally a tropical East African. That's where it's from. That's where it originated from, you guys. And it's going to grow to be about 1 to 2 feet in height. And they said that for the lighting, it will do good if it's in a south-facing window and receives filtered light. So no direct sunlight, you guys. And it says when you water in this plant, it says it has big, thick roots. So it stores water in those roots. So you don't need to overwater it. It mentions that you should always use room temperature water when you are watering this plant. And then as far as humidity, it loves humidity, it says. And it likes to be in temperatures of between 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 to 27 degrees Celsius. And that's all year round. That's what this plant likes. That's the type of weather that this plant likes. I'm sure because it's a tropical plant from Africa. So that makes sense. And it says that you can fertilize this plant 4 times a year with a water-soluble fertilizer. And as far as propagating it, you can get more plants. It say just by taking it out the pot and cutting it in half. You can get more plants out of this by cutting the roots. So that should be pretty easy. Just cut it in half and you'll have you 2. So this is my first one, you guys. My first plant that I'm so happy I found in the month of February. Now my second one that I'm happy I found in the month of February is my Syngonium Bronze. And here it is again, y'all. Look at that pretty bronzy color on it. Oh, just beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. It's just almost looked like a fall plant, the bronziness of it. But it's just a beautiful Syngonium. And it says what I found on this plant is for the water should be watered regularly, but it prefers for the soil to dry out between waterings. So you don't want to have this be a soggy plant. It wants to be dried out between waterings and for best results, you guys. And it says it does not require a lot of humidity. It says because it absorbs the moisture through the roots, not the leaves. So that's good to know. It does not require a lot of humidity. But I do tell you this, my other Syngoniums that I put on my patio, you know, Mississippi is hot and humid. Those Syngoniums, they thrived on my patio. They really thrived. They just was shooting out leaf after leaf after leaf. So, you know, even though it did say it did not need a lot of humidity, but my Syngonium, it thrived when it was outside with the humidity. So I guess it just varies, I guess. And then this plant, it says it is toxic to humans and to pets. So we don't want our pets to chew on these plants because it will make them sick. And definitely don't want our children to put it in their mouth because it will make them sick. So that's something to be aware of. But this is my second plant that I'm so happy that I found in the month of February. And now, my last, but certainly not least, I'm glad I found in the month of February. Here it is. My Philodendron Prince of Orange. Beautiful plant. I know if you view my other video about the plant, my plant haul, I did cut off the 2 bad leaves that were on here, because when I first bought it, it had 2 bad leaves. But now I cut those off, and now she's just as pretty as she wants to be. But yeah, so this is my third one that I'm so happy that I found in the month of February. And as far as this plant is native to South America, and it can grow up to 2 feet tall, you guys. So it's gonna get a little height on it. And then it says that it also likes to be in well-draining, airy soil. And you should water only when the top inch of soil is dry. And typically, you shouldn't have to water it more than once a week. So, and as far as light it requires bright, indirect light. So, bright, indirect light, you guys. So no full-on sun needs to be hitting this plant. And this plant too is toxic to humans and is toxic to animals. So again, we want to keep our children and our pets, or our grandchildren and our pets, away from this plant. You know, as far as they touch it, they need to wash their hands and all of that, because it is toxic to humans and to pets. Now, those are my 3 plants that I was loving this month, that I was so happy I found in the month of February. Did you guess what the common denominator was between these plants? That beautiful orangey bronze color. That was the beauty to me in all these plants. That's what drew me to these plants. When I saw them, I was like, oh my goodness, I got to have those plants. And I'm so glad I found them. And now I just want to take care of them and watch them grow. But that was my video for today, guys. Thank you so much for returning. And if you're new here, again, thank you so much for tuning into my channel, because you didn't have to, but I'm so glad you did. And I'll talk with all of you next time. Bye.